Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today's topic is sexual trauma, financial struggle, shame, and particularly with the divine feminines on the twin flame journey. Now, if you happen to be tuning in, then this is for you. Maybe it's to help out a divine feminine. Maybe this also relates to you, even if you don't necessarily identify with the label the twin flame or even a divine feminine. Yet, sexual trauma is an important piece, and the shame with that, and the sexual trauma really goes hand in hand with why, one of the reasons why many people who've experienced sexual trauma, especially those divine feminines in a female body on the twin flame journey, why that is, and why divine masculines don't seem to have that same struggle. Now, before I continue, let me make it really clear. There are many divine masculines who have also experienced sexual trauma. However, if these divine masculines happen to be in a masculine body, a male body, then the energy is just different. There is a different design. And so there may be periods in or a pivotal point in a divine masculine's journey where they seem to lose everything. It all falls away. Yet, because they have a lot of masculine energy, and money is masculine energy, material wealth is masculine energy, then oftentimes they can repivot, rebuild, shift rather quickly, and maybe experience feeling like they're going down to zero with their income, but then they're able to bounce up fairly quickly, or compared to the divine feminines. And I don't like to compare, and this is all the more reason why I'm sharing this video, because there is that comparison sometimes with divine masculines, divine feminines, and divine counterparts. Like, I have no problem making money. Like, what's her problem? I'm not saying everybody says that. There has been some judgment. I have experienced that judgment firsthand, and others have, and we've allowed ourselves to feel that shame. And so it isn't that somebody put that shame on us, but because of the sexual trauma and that programming and mistruths and all that, we sometimes allow ourselves to be judged. They're matching our vibration. Okay, so why is there that difference if you have your divine feminine in a female body? Remember, divine feminines can also be in a male body. So I'm speaking mostly to divine feminines who are in a female body with female parts, vagina, and so on. Because you've got your penis, you've got your vagina, you've got the womb and all that. Yes, there's an energetic womb also for males. Okay, let me make that clear. Yet the vagina, the cervix, the womb, the uterus, and all that, it's a receptacle. It is about receiving. So yes, males and females can in males and females intersex. I don't want to exclude anybody. There is receiving and giving during the sexual act, and so during sex. Yet for the most part, the woman is receiving. She is the receiver, especially with traditional intercourse. She is the receiving, and it's the receiving energy. And so, if there's been sexual trauma, there's also tends to be a block in receiving. It's all connected, because a woman has learned that it is not safe to receive. It is not safe to receive. And so if there's a block, then there is a block with receiving in other areas, such as receiving money, material, financial wealth for what they do in terms of their service to humanity, their dedication and devotion. There's more to it. So there's certain aspects of it. So let me share that first and foremost, that there is a direct correlation with sexual trauma and being able to receive. No matter, so there isn't that, it isn't that this divine feminine is lazy, she's not working hard enough, she's not doing enough. No, no, no. If there's this sub programming that is running in the background, that she doesn't feel safe in receiving and doesn't trust it, or receiving's been objectified and all that with the sexuality, then there's going to be a block there. What happens is that women are not all necessarily aware of that. And so that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to make this video. So there isn't so much shame. with number one, like, why am I having trouble? Why am I struggling? And the other struggle is having shame and being able to receive in different ways by being able to boldly ask for financial support, being able to do a GoFundMe, being able to accept and receive when somebody says, hey, I want to give you a pro bono program, or I want to, offer you some financial resources to help you. I know you're having a difficult time. It's being able to receive that without the shame, without the guilt, without thinking, oh my God, I don't want to just take it, because you're not just taking it. It's giving and receiving. There is a value exchange, because many of the divine feminines on the twin flame journey, your role is very different from a divine masculine. Your role is more of an invisible role that isn't necessarily seen or visible in the 3D. So you are doing planetary grid work. You are helping to transmute the energy. You are helping to revert the inversion of these divine sacred templates of love, relationship, of unity, of harmony. And that is not going to be something that is necessarily directly paid, or there is direct income, especially initially. And I'll get back to that. I'm not saying divine feminines can't bring it in, can't earn that money. There is a period oftentimes, and it could be months or even years, compared to the divine masculine, who may be able to rebuild in 6 months, maybe quicker. And I don't like to compare, because they're two different roles. Again, I don't know if I mentioned it in this video, but I've mentioned it in previous videos. Money is masculine energy. And the three lowest chakras, which is where our divine masculines tend to operate mostly from, as they heal, it's integrating all those chakras, but mostly they're about bringing into manifesting the invisible to the visible, the material manifestations. And money is the material manifestation of creative projects and seeds and so on. And so there's both roles are important, yet they have different functions, and they work together. And so it's you don't want to compare with your divine counterpart. It's like comparing maybe fruits and vegetables, where they're both really healthy for you. And well, and for the most part, right? Nothing to, anyways, to use my metaphor. They both help in certain ways. Fruits tend to cleanse and purify. They nutrify also, don't get me wrong. And vegetables tend to replenish, restore, nourish, renourish. So slightly different roles, but both really important, working together. And so this is why it's so important not to judge yourself or compare yourself with others, and particularly with your divine counterpart. And let's not be in judgment of one another. Let's be loving with one another. We're all on our journey, doing the best we can. So just to have more compassion, but in particular, to have more compassion for ourselves. I am going to share at the end of this video a simple technique that you can do to help release some of the shame related to that sexual trauma and the money and all that. And the more you're able to process that shame and reintegrate compassion and sacred compassion, the more you're going to be open to receiving, and receiving not just material wealth, but love. Because if there's a block with receiving in general, then it's going to block the very love that you're trying to bring into your physicality. And so it's so important to heal that sexual trauma, to process it, to integrate it, so that you can receive openly, freely, in a very loving and sacred way, because you deserve it. You were born deserving it. Let me just look at my notes. This is what I want to say. So you might be like, I've done so much. I've done A, B, C, D, E, and F. I've worked so hard. I'm so gifted. I'm so talented. Like, I was able to make money before. Like, what's going on? If you have moved, the more you move along your ascension path and you unravel all those other ways where perhaps you've let go of different aspects of those limiting belief systems, and maybe you've processed and healed some of that sexual trauma, you're getting to deeper layers. So as you get to those deeper layers, it may be more and feel more intense, maybe more glaring, that difficulty in receiving. It may be more glaring in your face because now you're at deeper roots. Like you're getting at the roots. Like that's it, baby. No way. I'm opening myself up to receive all of it. Like I've called in that love. I've called in that financial abundance, like earning it directly, earning it directly. And I'm going to speak to this also. In the interim, allow yourself to receive, not just in the interim, allow yourself to receive financial wealth, prosperity in infinite infinite ways. So it may be, as I think I mentioned, somebody offers you something pro bono, like thank you, yes, I receive it, I receive it. Somebody wants to help pay for something. um Again, a GoFundMe. Allow yourself to receive. And to me, that's really resourceful, it's creative, it's resilient. And keep taking your inspired actions and keep building that foundation, because ultimately, as you begin, the more you process in that sexual trauma, and you come into wholeness and full embodiment, then you will bring in that abundance and that prosperity. You will. It just may take longer because you're the receiver. You're the receiver. Let me see what else I wanted to say. Mm. So prosperity is connected. The ability to receive is connected to sexual trauma and how much has been healed or not healed. I'm going to share a really powerful technique that involves breathing, that involves, I think I did chanting with this. I'm not sure. Let me just, yes, chanting. So your sacral chakra, your sacral chakra is where there can be a tremendous imbalance with sexuality. And the sacral chakra is all about relationship, relationship with money, relationship with love, relationship with yourself. So it's really important to heal that particular chakra, but all your chakras in general. So I do a lot of work working with women who've experienced sexual trauma, twin flames, divine feminines, with the breath, with chanting, with movement, sacred movement, so that it helps to process that. And so again, that you are reassociating with your body. If you'd like to know more about that, I schedule a complimentary clarity and connection call and see what maybe working with me can do to help process that trauma, so that you can let go of that shame, that body shame, shame about receiving, and that you can be fully open to receiving that life that is fully embodied, fully satisfying, fully blissful with the one you love in physical union. That's it for today, folks. Much peace and love. Mwah. Please share with me any comments, any suggestions, any other videos you would like me to record. This video was in response to a comment that somebody had made, and I realized that with the feedback, it shows me what other things I can cover and speak to help others to, yeah, let go of shame and recognize that they're just right where they need to be, and they didn't do anything wrong. Just keep doing the healing work. Keep loving yourself. Mwah. Much peace and love. My name is Susan Hayes. I am the founder of Sacred Soul Activations. Ciao for now.